Well, a very Merry Christmas to you all. It's almost 11 o'clock on Christmas Day 2018, and it's Ed here, amateur radio call sign M0MNG, but not doing anything amateur radio related today. This is the Sony ICF SW11. I bought it in a charity shop a couple of weeks back for £4, I think it was. Very good condition. Came with two AA Duracell batteries inside it, and they're probably worth more than the radio is, but the radio is currently running quite happily on two AA rechargeable batteries that I haven't charged up particularly recently. And I thought I would do a quick video of long wave, because conditions on long wave have been very good, particularly since the winter solstice a couple of days back. As it's Christmas, I'm having a little drinky, and I've already had one, so if I'm slurring a bit or not making sense, I apologise. Just to give you an idea of the size of the radio, this is a whiskey glass. It's not particularly big, but this is a really nice radio, works very, very well. We're currently listening to a station from the Czech Republic, playing Tears for Fears on 270 kHz on the long wave, and there's a bit of a noise on the frequency, and that's coming from the camera, unfortunately. If I bring it close, you'll hear the whistle, but if I put it back up here, oh, here we go, it's exactly 11 o'clock. So that's from the Czech Republic. But like I say, conditions have been good on long wave, so we'll just do a quick band scan. I'll go all the way down the bottom, and the lowest frequency is actually a little bit beneath the long wave broadcast band. If I turn this round, you might be able to hear some data. I don't think that's the camera. So the first long wave station we'll come to is Romania on 153. Now, I mentioned that conditions have been very good these last few days, but that is strong enough to be listenable to almost as a local station. And even my Sangen ATS 909 would struggle to pull it in as well as that. So it's really small package, this radio, but boy is it good on long wave. Often they play a very lively folk music on there, so well worth a listen. And greetings to Oxford Shortwave Log, whose idea to do a long wave band scan I'm nicking because he did one almost 24 hours ago, and I know that that's a favourite station of his. Antenna Satalor from Romania. Up on 162 there is, well, it's just a time signal now from Alois in France. Carried France Inter up until a couple of years ago, then they turned that off.
Hier dans son message de Noël les ravages du consumérisme, alors que depuis hier soir des cadeaux par milliers se retrouvent sur les sites d'annonces entre particuliers, des cadeaux qui ont fait flop et que les Français décident de revendre.
That's Europe number 1 on 183 kHz. The only station on long wave that I can receive here that isn't a multiple of 9. It's sort of deliberately on the wrong frequency, if you know what I mean. And although it's in French, it's actually transmitting from the Saarland area of Germany. And again, that's strong when it isn't always strong here on some of my other radios. Now, 189 is Iceland. That's probably not coming out on the camera, it's just about audible but not really listenable. 198 Radio 4 from Droitwich.
Doctor, doctor.
which normally is speech only, but at this time of year they do have a bit of music at Christmas.
Dozed off on the settee. Last thing I remember is I was sitting down to watch Doctor Who and...
Now, going up to 207, if I turn this round, again it's not easy to hear because of interference from the camera. I could hear it a bit better upstairs about 20 minutes ago, but Iceland on 207 was quite audible upstairs. Let's see if you can hear it. It's a male voice. Move that a bit further away from the camera. I mean, it's not listenable or easily listenable, but it's there.
Éviter que le manque d'eau potable provoque une crise sanitaire plus forte et que des maladies rentrent.
Lack of drinking water is causing a health crisis, so says Monaco on 216, Radio Monte Carlo, RMC. Again, that's strong as well. Poland.
Zginęli w katastrofie w tamtejszej kopalni. Celebrowana będzie w kościele pod wezwaniem świętej Marii Magdaleny. Kościół ten znajduje się zaledwie kilkaset metrów od kopalni, w której doszło do tragedii. Intencje zmarłych górników w świątyni została odprawiona...
I don't speak Polish, but again, that's relatively strong. That's stronger on pretty much any other radio that I own, so that's very good.
Et en fait, vous nous expliquiez avant le journal de minuit.
234 is RTL from Luxembourg, which often plays quite good music overnight in Les Nocturnes programme presented by Georges Lang, who sounds a bit like that. Sorry, George, if you're watching, I can't do a good impression. Time for some more of this, I reckon. Bailey's Irish Cream at Christmas. Lovely. Can you tell I've been drinking? Right,
C'est la tournure que ça prend. C'est cacher quelque chose.
So cacher quelque chose, it hides something. Probably does. 243 is Denmark, Kalundborg, but they're not on the air 24 hours a day, and I think this is one of the moments when they're not on the air. They're only about 50 kilowatts, and they're not strong here ever, but I have heard them at about 4:30 in the morning on this. Next one, 252 kilohertz, Ireland versus Algeria. Right, that's Ireland, RTE, who are not running much power and normally get a bit stamped on. Oh, David Essex, Winter's Tale, lovely. From RTE in Ireland, turn it round the other way. Don't know what that is, what song it is, I mean, but that's a Chaîne 3 in French, Channel 3 from Algeria. And I don't know if RTE from Ireland have dropped their transmitter power down, or if Algeria have injected them some steroids into theirs, or both, but certainly in the last few months Algeria seems to be winning it on that frequency. And the ridiculous thing is, on 261 there's nothing these days, so if one of them decamped up the dial a little bit, there wouldn't be a clash of having two stations on the same frequency, but such is life, I suppose. Then on 270, turn the volume up a bit. Well, they were there early. Oh, they are there still. I think they've just faded out a bit. That's Radio 1 from the Czech Republic. They were coming in really well about 15 minutes ago, playing Cats in the Cradle by Ugly Kid Joe. the old Harry Chapin song, and I've heard some quite good music on there. They did Sadness Part 1 by Enigma a few nights back, which is nice, and then above that there's nothing. There is a transmission on 279 from somewhere far flung, but I've never heard it here. So on long wave, this radio is certainly very sensitive and selective as well, and is right up there with the best radio I own. So got it for a real bargain in the charity shop, the ICF SW11 from Sony. Just a couple of other things to mention. On medium wave, it only goes up to 1611, which is the top of the medium wave band in Europe officially. So if you enjoy listening to Dutch pirate stations in the so-called medium wave X band, X for extended, which is 1600 up to 1710 or thereabouts, you won't be able to use this receiver to listen to them. And last but not least, on FM, my local station is on 107.7 if I put the antenna up. Well, it's a semi-local station anyway, and that is with the dial right up to the top, and it's only just about tuned. So if your local station is on 107.8 or 107.9 or 108 on the nose, then you might have trouble tuning it in, assuming of course that all radios are calibrated the same way. So that's a quick look at the ICF SW11. It's always a bad idea to make YouTube videos when you've had a few drinks. Really nice bit of kit. I don't think it's still being made anymore, but there are a few for sale on eBay for a bit more than I paid for this one. But if you're in the UK and you go to car boot sales, then you'd be surprised at what can turn up at car boot sales and charity shops. Particularly if you go to one in an area where a lot of people are quite well off. You can get some quite nice stuff for not much money in boot sales and charity shops. So this was the bargain of the month. Wasn't a Christmas present, but I bought it at the end of, I think about the end of November. But I've only really started using it. My other radios for comparison, the Sangean ATS 909 and the Eaton E5, and this is up there with the best of them. Only slight drawback of course is it's analogue rather than digital in terms of its display. Shortwaves, again, I don't really do that much shortwave listening on this device, so I don't know where all the stations are, and I don't know how they compare with my other radios, but a couple of weekends back I was able to listen to football commentary from the BBC World Service on 12 point something megahertz in the 25 metre band, and that was as good as commentary from 5 Live. I could flick back and forward between the two. They were networking the commentary on both stations, and it was coming in on 12 megs via the World Service equally as well as it was coming in on 693 kilohertz from the local Radio 5 Live transmitter. And needless to say, on medium wave, well, the local stations comes in really well, and it seems to be quite sensitive for the not so local ones as well. Not going to do a band scan on medium wave because that would take a hell of a lot longer than just doing long wave. But I've always liked long wave, but in the last month or so, maybe because we're heading towards the depths of winter and the bottom of the sunspot cycle as well, long wave has really come alive, and videos from Oxford Shortwave Log and a few other YouTubers as well have been inspiring me to listen to the long waves a bit. So if you can find one, the Sony ICF SW11, really nice little radio, and works really well on long wave in a way that many portable radios don't. So I can certainly recommend this, and particularly if you can find one for £4 in a charity shop, as I did. Have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy your radio hobby, whether that's shortwave listening, amateur radio, PMR 446, CB, whatever it is. Enjoy listening, enjoy transmitting, or whatever you want to do, and have a very happy 2019. God bless you all, and I'm off to have another drink. Bye for now.